Hello and welcome to the Peak Millennials podcast. I'm Collins.
And I'm Natalie.
Each week we will delve deep into various peak millennial topics, exploring what we remember.
And what we want to forget.
And read some captivating stories that will evoke a sense of deja vu in all of us.
This is the age before iPhones and social media that we know today.
This is where a good mix CD, silver eyeshadow, and MTV raised us.
So crack open your Jones soda.
And kick off your black Converse.
And let's teleport back into the world of the Peak Millennials. And make sure to share your stories at peakmillennialpod.com or gmail.com. What the hell, Natalie? Or our Instagram, Peak Millennial Pod. Come into our DMs, please.
And make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you know when we go live, which is usually Monday morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. No, it's just Pacific Time. Because Standard Time is on the other side of the spring forward. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just a girl. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I'm just a baby. There.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Hi, hello. It is your Auntie Collins, and it is your sweet Auntie Natalie here once again to talk about peak millennial topics. Our team won the Super Bowl.
Woo!
Woo!
They sure did. They kicked some serious ass, if I'm going to be honest. As an appreciator of football, but not really like a super fan, that game was really good.
Our defense played so well. It was like it was well. Okay. Did you ever as a kid like play like NFL Blitz or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Please tell me. Please tell me about your experience.
So back in the day, there used to not just be one sports video game, which is Madden. Okay, it used to be this NFL Blitz, and it was like, it. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like very unbridled. Like it wasn't so like refined as a game, right? It wasn't like, it was just a game with stats, and you have plays, and you click the play, and then they do the play. But you could literally do the same play 5, 6, 7 runs in a row, and then you just keep scoring because your team is better. There's not a lot of skill. You can auto set a lot of things. So.
Oh, I remember seeing this game, but I never played it. But I remember because of the graphics, and I was like, these graphics are whack.
They are crazy. And like you can make big head, little body. Yeah. Like it's really fun.
No, I never played that, but
it just felt like the Seahawks just kept going, okay, this works, just keep doing it. And I don't know. I loved it. It was a great game. Bad Bunny. Incredible halftime show.
I love our reel last week, and I made the collective decision not to further that fire because someone was very angry at statements that we made about him holding residency in Puerto Rico.
Oh my God.
But I'm going to be really honest. I fact checked myself, and I was true.
Yeah, it was a true statement. I didn't want to fan the flame because I honestly don't care about what people who don't have our best interest in mind have to say about us. But if you want to go back and look, it is a short. I took just 2 minutes or so and clipped it and made a short. And boy, people had lots of things to say. I have no idea who these people are.
Engagement, my friend, engagement.
Yeah. I responded to someone and I was like, well, it's not a delusion if it's true.
Yep. That was the one that I almost commented back on. And I was like, I had texted Ryan and I was like, should I do this? And he was like, no, you probably shouldn't. And I was like, probably smart. But I mean, it doesn't take a ton of effort in the fact that like we literally carry around a computer in our hand all day long. To just do a quick little Google.
Google is free.
Google's free. We're free here.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not always going to be the smartest person in the room, but you better be damned. I will, in fact, Google something because I will, in fact, check myself before I say something and feel stupid.
I love that about you. Because I just talk out of pocket all the time.
I mean, I do, but then I have to go back and be like, oh God, because like my brain will be like, oh no, what did you just say? And I'm like, I might have just said something crazy, so I need to go back and fact check myself.
I mean, that's perfectly fine.
But it's totally fine.
But it was a great halftime show. Loved seeing Lady Gaga. Loved seeing the little cameos. I love her too. I love seeing the little cameos from Pedro Pascal, Jessica Alba.
That was the one for me. And Cardi B looked fantastic, even though she was going through her own drama that whole time. But I was looking at the screen when his performance started, and I was like, Jessica Alba, what are you doing here?
Wait a minute, Jessica Alba.
Wait a minute. Looked fantastic.
Okay, Enrique Iglesias. He's so fine. Like he's always been fine. But like he looked extra crispy fine. You know what I mean? So love.
Do you mean Ricky?
Oh, what did I say?
Enrique Iglesias. I was like, did I miss something?
Ricky Martin. Oh my God. No, please roast me in the comments for saying Enrique Iglesias. Why did I say Enrique Iglesias? That's hilarious.
You be your hero, baby.
Yeah, he's the 9/11 guy.
Your pain.
Do you remember that song? Song.
I hated that song.
Okay, so sorry. Terrible. I meant Ricky Martin. Music video. Sorry.
Creeped me out. No, it's all good. I was like,
I don't know. So can I just tell you, my brain does that all the time. And it's not just it's not that it's because they play the same kind of music that they're millennial Latin artists. So my brain, I'm not even thinking of Enrique Iglesias either. I'm thinking of Ricky Martin. I see his face. I know that they look very different.
Very different. But that's okay. I mean, that's okay. We all make mistakes, friend. Okay. We're good. Okay. It's good.
Sorry.
No,
please forgive me.
No, that's fine. I had saw a what was it? It was like a meme that someone had created, and it was like, if you know who this singer is, or you can name a song by this singer, and it was like picture of Ricky Martin like at the Super Bowl. It was like, you probably need like what is that cream that they tell you to put on your face when you start to get old? You know, like cream? Like a
retinol.
Retinol. Yeah, it was like, you probably need some you need to go put on your retinol cream.
Rude.
And I was like, F you, person. I was like, yeah,
rude.
No. That's rude. But yeah, it was good. This week for me, you didn't ask, birthday. I'm going to tell you anyways. I had a birthday this week, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. And I will show all of our listeners. I went and got 2 new tattoos.
Ooh.
Like little crap. And I got this bow, and it's pink. She's so cute. Pretty. And then this one is hard to show, but it's a lollipop heart in
I
a
love
little
it.
wrapper. Shout out to Wasabi Tattoo in Seattle.
Wasabi.
I went and got some of their flash for their Valentine's Day flash. It was super great. They were super lovely. 10 out of 10 recommend if you're looking for just like a super aesthetically cute tattoo parlor. Well, I don't even call
Yeah.
it parlor. It's a studio. It's the
Mhm.
cutest little studio on South Main. Um, there's always like there's a parking lot that's literally like a couple steps away. They have like
See, that's what I
front
need.
parking. Yeah, and it's so lovely. I'll send you their Instagram and later, but it's my favorite. I've gotten multiple tattoos from them and I absolutely love it. Every artist there is so creative. Um and a lot of them are just like kind of like trinkety like me, so they love a lot of the same stuff. Like I spent the entire time I was getting tattooed talking with um Esther, who did my tattoos, about like the manga that I've been reading. We spent time talking about Jujutsu
Mm.
Kaisen, which is an anime that like I've been watching a lot. Um and it was just really cool. It was cool to kind of just like vibe in there. So 10 out of 10 recommend.
Love
And then we
that.
went and had dinner and just kind of had like a super chill Valentine's Day. And now I'm here with you.
I
It's
love that.
fantastic. What did you do
Well,
this week?
I worked.
All right.
I yeah, maybe I just like had a week. I was just doing things, being places, going places. I was
I forgot to do something.
I was dog
No.
sitting, house sitting.
You
Okay, what happened? Tell me.
Well, we went to yesterday. Sorry, I totally forgot not to like capitalize on the time.
Yeah, it's your
So
birthday.
we went to I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Knutsen's farm in Sumner, so south
Okay.
from us. They have this like family farm, and like little known fact, Costco buys like all of their like hanging baskets from Knutson
Oh,
Farms.
okay.
So they do like hanging baskets, but they also have I think it's quarterly or a couple of times a year they host like this market. It's in like an indoor market kind of thing, so like
Mhm.
vendors and whatnot. And we took our youngest because our oldest was doing some stuff for her school, and we went and like walked around, and like where I live is and that where you live is very like multicultural.
Mhm.
Sumner is
What do you mean?
so we were very much in like
What do you
uh
mean?
we were in more of the red part of our
What do
state
you mean?
where Jesus is king. And no hate to like listeners that are more
That's
on the
totally
religious
fine.
side, but it was
Mhm.
like that was a lot. Like I think I snapped you a couple of photos and like
Yeah.
sent them to you on Snapchat, but it was like I think we might be in the wrong place. But then we found this really cute like LGBTQ plus women owned macaron stand, and their
Yeah.
name was Les Macarons. And I was like, yes, queen. And so we went and bought some because my older girl loves herself some macarons, and we picked her up some for Valentine's Day. And then just kind of like walked about. We found like there's a gluten-free bakery. I'm not gluten-free or any of that business. But I can vibe on a good like coconut treat.
Mm.
Ouch. That was quite rude there, Bella.
Oh, no.
Um, she almost scratched me.
Oh,
But we
no.
like we went and walked about and had a really good time, and I bought some stuff for the garden. I ended up getting some like potatoes that I'm gonna plant and some like onions that are ready to go in the ground. So that's what I'm gonna do this week. Which will be really fun. Hopefully the weather stays how it is now, but it's not projected to. So
Hmm.
it probably won't be. Um, but that's okay. Like we'll get in the ground eventually, and then
Well,
we'll just
just eventually.
it'll figure it out. I mean, like the weather report said it's supposed to rain like all week, and I'm just like,
I'm
really?
not
Oh
into
gosh.
that.
No, I'm not
Okay, but I'm
either. As
into it more than snow.
I mean, I am, but like it's the like midwinter break for school, so like
Oh,
if we're gonna be out of school, then we're gonna be stuck in the house. And I don't really
yeah.
want to do that.
Well,
But yeah.
it's also kind of hard for me to watch the Winter Olympics, which, by the way,
Mm.
I'm just interjecting the Winter Olympics and everything.
No, you're
Um,
fine.
it's really hard to watch the Winter Olympics, being like, oh, look at all that snow, look at all the, and guess what? We haven't gotten any snow at all.
No, none,
None.
zero. Which I'm
Which
actually completely fine
I'm
with
fine about.
because I can't tell you how many birthdays truly like my birthday will hit and it's like, oh, here's 4, 5, 6 inches of snow, and then it'll
Mhm.
half melt, and then it will freeze,
Mm.
and then we have crunchy ice snow. And I'm like, no, thank you. I don't quite like that.
Yeah.
Did you watch, speaking of the Olympics, did you watch the men's figure
Oh,
skating?
the men's skating. I felt so
Yeah,
bad for Ilya. So, by the way, we talked about
I
it last
did.
week, how we were really excited to see Ilya, the quad god, do his thing. He's only 21 years old, and this is his first Olympics. He looked really good in the team event. Was pulling out, you know, his backflip. Just so cool to see such a young guy. And unfortunately, he fell twice during his program. And on one of his trip or quads, he only did a triple, and then he couldn't get the height to like complete things. So he wasn't even hitting the full potential in his program. And he got eighth.
He got
He
8th.
didn't even medal. And I felt so
Mhm.
bad for him. However, seeing everybody fall around the same area had me
Mhm.
thinking there's something wrong with the ice. Something is too
Mhm.
soft. Something's not right. Reminded me
Mhm.
very much of the Sydney Olympics in 2000.
Mhm. Mhm.
How the balance beam was like
Oh,
5 centimeters too small,
yeah.
which
I was
like
actually I not this performance. Sorry, not to mean to cut you off.
no, it's okay.
Not not the men's like singles, like their solos, but the team performances that they did or the
Mm-hmm.
team skates that they did before, where Ilya he skated really lovely, but I didn't love his skate as much as I
Mm-hmm.
love Japan's skate, and
Yeah.
I felt like Japan was not and, again, I am no judge for ice skating. I'm going
Yeah.
solely based on, like, how much I loved watching their like, the energy and the performance, but I felt like he was scored so much less than Ilya, and it made me kind of mad.
Mm.
Um, because I just felt, and it was Kageyama is who had
Mm-hmm.
skated, and he skated this like super lively, like upbeat tempo skate that was just like full of energy, and he just like did all of these really great moves. and he just scored, like, I think it was a significant amount less than, what Ilya's was, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Damn, like, that totally sucks." But I will say overall, he ended up taking silver, because he also fell in his last
Yeah.
skate around the same spot
They're
that
around the
Ilya
same
did.
spot.
Mhm.
So
But oh,
allegedly
go ahead.
there the ice on one side hadn't been, like, properly shaved or something, so there were digs and holes in spots and made it
Oh.
soft. Um, but that
Eee.
happens. That happens.
Mhm.
Um, but I did wanna say the Sydney Olympics, in 2000, what had happened was, the women's gymnastics, vault was 5 centimeters too low, which I had mentioned,
Mhm.
which it was in the all-around competition, so you have to do all 4 apparatuses. The favorite to win was Svetlana Horkina from Russia, and because she started the day on the vault, and you're so used to doing the vault the same way every time, that she fell every time. 14 gymnasts fell before someone said, "Hey, I think the can we measure how tall the vault is?" And that's where they figured out um, that it was too short. Um, but people were falling, they got injured, they were disoriented in the
Mhm.
competition, so much so that everything following the beam, the uneven bars, the floor routine, they were so disoriented that it ruined the entire competition. So, but yeah, Sevlana Horkina was the one shoot in to win, and she didn't even medal because she fell on other apparatuses. And they were like, yeah, it took 14 gymnasts. So imagine going through all of that just to realize, oh, the apparatus is too short. I guess 14 gymnasts can go, but we're running out of time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is
That's
the
wild.
same thing, but the fact that everyone was falling on the same area,
Space.
yeah,
Yeah.
has me wondering, what are the regulations there? I mean, they can't really
Mhm.
measure ice. They can't really like field it out, but they should have like a Zamboni out there. They should be, monitoring the ice temperature. Like,
Oh,
there's
no,
got to
there
be
is someone.
something.
There's an ice technician. Like,
Oh,
they did a whole commercial, or I mean, I don't remember if it was they did a whole thing. I watched it through when I was in between things. So it must have been just like a snippet of something. But the ice technician went in this whole spiel about how they're testing the ice and they're making sure that the ice is clean and that there's like no
mm-hmm.
divots, and like that's like someone's legit job. Like they're the
Yeah.
Olympic ice technical engineer, like on how to do it. And I can imagine that ice gets so beat up, but they should have someone like out there making sure that like everything is level, because these people are like going hard in the paint. Like they're jumping
Mm-hmm.
and they're spinning, and Ilya had said, or the announcers had said, that he was going to try, what was it, a quad loop or something,
Yeah.
or quad spin, whatever it's called, where he was supposed to do like 4 full rotations, and I don't think he did. I think he did 1 3, like whatever, triple, but everything else was like 1 or 2. Like he just was not skating to his full potential, and that just kind of sucks, because I think that it became more of like a mental
Mm-hmm.
battle versus what it had been before. um but I've
And
been loving.
it just sucks because it really was
Yeah.
his competition to lose. And
Mhm.
Um, I just think maybe like I got really emotional because I saw how emotional he got.
He just
And
knew that he did
mhm.
not skate very well, and that totally sucks. But we watched men's big air snowboarding because I love
Mm.
it.
Love
We
the big
watched women's
air.
big air.
Yes.
Um I felt so bad because, like, obviously it's what, best out of 3, or 2,
Mhm.
best 2 out of 3, and one of the kids was like 17 or 18, 17 or 18
Mhm.
years old, 17 years old from Colorado. And it was like, it was crazy. It was a crazy thing to watch them like do their jumps. And you can just see that they were putting so much into it, but also the same,
Yeah.
like they would have a couple of really good runs and then boom, then they would just be on the ground, just down. Um, we watched the women's big air snowboarding big air. That one was really
Mhm.
good. And then the what is that? The half pipe
Yeah.
snowboarding half pipe. So, but the curling situation. Have you seen about that?
Mm. So, if you didn't know the curling situation, there was accusations from Sweden against Canada that they are cheating by nudging the stone with their fingy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Which is against the
apparently
rules.
a big no-no, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they got so heated, like it was one of those like, oh God, oh, just like watching them get like feral with each other. I don't know, like primal.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is curling for God's sake.
I don't think, and like, no hate. I don't know. One, I don't know how curling works. I don't understand it as a
Mm-hmm.
sport. Two, like Canadians, if we're taught like if we're going by like stereotypes, Canadians are supposed to be like so nice and so like kind, but to
Yeah.
see them like on the literally on the Olympic stage on that ice and they're
Mm-hmm.
like basically saying like you don't know what you're fucking talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking cheating. Like, go the fuck
Yep.
away. Like, what? So,
Yeah.
but anywho,
Mm-hmm.
the Olympics this year, I feel like have just been wild.
Yeah, I don't see as many people online maybe talking about them, but I will say for for
Controversy?
controversy's sake, I mean, there's even we were just talking about this. There's penis gate in the
Oh,
Olympics.
Venus Gate. Yes.
Uh that the World Anti-Doping Agency is investigating whether ski jumpers were injecting their penises with hyaluronic acid in order to fly further. And I was like, this has to be a joke. It's
No.
because they're fitted so tightly, and if there's any extra material in that region, it could help lift them a whole 5 meters. Yeah, it was like a
Mm-hmm.
whole car's length. That's pretty far. Like anything to get
That's so
up on the
crazy.
competition, I guess.
I don't know,
But
friend.
I've never
I don't know.
yeah, when I saw that article, I was like, this is so funny because why would they're injecting their own junk
When we were reading
with
through like
hyaluronic
the
acid?
common side effects, it was like you may get gangrene if you inject your penis with this hyaluronic acid, but you will fly up to a car's length more
Mm-hmm.
in the Olympics. Like, that's what I don't quite understand when you find out that
Yeah.
like athletes are like doping or like using like these things to like
Mm-hmm.
go further. You've put in so much work already just with your natural physical ability and all of
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. And now you're gonna just like do a little bit more in the hopes that you can win like an Olympic gold medal. Just telling myself, like, just getting to the Olympics, like, that's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
damn, I worked really hard. I got to the Olympics. Like, but the idea of I don't know. I think of this like if I had to inject myself with a needle, and I would imagine that that needle isn't like a short little baby needle. Like that thing's probably long. Like if you've known anybody that's ever taken testosterone, like taking T shots,
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
needle isn't little. It's
Right. It's
long and
not
it's thick.
small. Correct. Yeah.
It's a fairly large gauge needle. So like
Mhm.
that doesn't sound fun. Like I don't
Mm.
particularly maybe that's also why like I'm just not a person who does drugs like that cuz I don't like needles. So no.
It's
If I
so
had
funny to me. I'm so sorry. Like,
ugh, gross. Oh, that was what I was saying. You might go a little farther, but you could get gangrene. You could have
gangrene.
erectile deformation, like
Erectile
it could become
deformation, and
I
it's
don't know if that's
all to
really a
go
word,
that much
like
further. Mhm.
one time. Like you're at the Olympics, maybe 2 times in your lifetime, maybe 3 times in your lifetime, but like
Mhm.
is that
Is that
your
necessary? Don't
your
know. Don't
penis
think
is with you
so.
forever. The Olympics is so short. Like did you also see that they ran out of condoms?
I'm sorry, that's so funny.
What, your penis is with you for forever? It's like a
Yeah, that's so funny.
it's like a
Go on.
romance commercial. Diamonds last forever. Your Tell me why that makes me think of every kiss begins with K.
Oh my god.
The
This is so
Olympics loss.
funny.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, they also went through an insane amount of condoms, which like I'm not surprised. All those people are at the prime of their life, and especially if they're shooting their dicks full of hyaluronic acid, like they're probably ready to go. Like, woo! I can't. I can't even. Like,
I'm sorry.
what a
This is
party trick.
what.
Like, what a party trick is that? Like, look at this
Mhm.
sad member. And then it's like, oh, wait, let me shoot it up really fast. Pew! And then it's like massive. Who fucking knows, man?
Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this?
I don't
Oh,
know.
this
I
is
don't know.
this is a
Anyways,
hilarious show. Um
hello. Welcome
so
to our
yeah.
penis gate conversation.
So yes, the Olympics have been quite interesting. I'm excited. I'm excited for them. I think I'm just excited to watch something else. You know?
I'm ready.
Go
I'm
back to
ready.
watching Heated Rivalry for me. That's
Oh yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't even show you my shirt.
Oh no. Oh, I think I can finally finish it. Okay, I will finish it.
Okay. You're
I've
gonna
been
finally finish it?
I'm gonna finally finish it.
Okay.
I've been on the fence. I know I feel terrible. I'm like, I really want to finish it, and I just have not.
That's okay. You'll finish
I've
it
been reading
soon.
too much, too much other gay stuff. Too many other
That's
gay
fair.
things. I've been reading it.
Oh my
I've been
gosh. I need
consuming
to
it.
pause. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, and we are back. This is where like we should have ad reads. Like even if they're not real ads.
We could just make them up. We could just
Oh.
make them up.
Well, this week's this week's topic is confidence. And we want to talk about confidence in our 30s versus our 20s. Now, I found a Huffington Post article that I was like, what is out there for people that are in their 30s who may not have like a community, may not have like people older than them to tell them where to go? And can I just say, nobody seems to know what the fuck they're doing. But we suddenly get comfortable with it. And it's like, so this article is like, here's a bunch of advice of like, I'm in my 30s for people in their 20s. the importance of everything else. So she says that having 2 children, feeling confident in myself as a writer, having a wonderful marriage, and also having the ups and downs, in short, experiencing these sensations of life and loss, of work, of family, the importance of other aspects of life being highlighted as we live through them, which is like, okay, take the time to stop, you know, live life outside of just being a housewife, just being a wife, just being a mother, just being in your career, um,
Mhm.
and live life authentically yourself.
Mhm.
Um, Her second point is your kids don't care. Your kids don't care about your body, the way that it looks. They might make comments or they might make generally see things, but the way that they see you as mom, or the way that they see you
Mhm.
as someone that they love. And I also think like that's also the caveat of nobody cares about anyone else but themselves. Like when you go to the pool,
Mhm.
like no one's looking at like your cellulite on your leg. Everyone always talks about cellulite on legs, or like your saggy boobs, or the fact that you forgot to shave your armpits, which I always forget to shave my armpits.
True, true.
Um, but a lot of it is like body centric, of like how do you gain confidence in your body. But like I don't know, I'm interested to hear your side of things, because I mean we're the same age but we have different life factors. Like I don't have kids, but also like
Yeah.
feeling like I lost my self-confidence in
Mhm.
the pandemic,
Yeah.
you know.
So, from my perspective, I got pregnant at the start of the
Mhm.
pandemic, like, shutdown. I found out I was pregnant in November of 2019, and then, like, all of the rest up into I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
Then she was born in July of 2020. So, like, I went from being in, like, fully, like, an office job,
Yeah.
working with a bunch of people, and, like, having expectations of, like, how I was and how whatever, to being completely different. Like, you definitely lose yourself. But I think that, like, if we're looking at, like, confidence wise, from when I was in my 20s to when I was like, and now in my 30s, it
Mhm.
is very different, because that time of my life is like such a different period of time. Like, when we would go when we would go out to the club, like, we didn't even, or to go, like, out dancing, we didn't
Mhm.
even start going anywhere until 9 p.m.
You're right, which
And
is
if
crazy.
someone was to ask me, like, "Hey, we're gonna meet up at blah 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 at 9:30 at night," I would look
Mhm.
at them like, "You're a crazy person. I am not meeting you anywhere at
Yeah.
9:30 p.m."
Yeah.
Um, but I think that there was a lot more. For me, it was such a different time, and I mean, like, I lost myself, because I realized that I didn't have to pretend to be somebody anymore,
Mhm.
and I spent so much of my 20s pretending. I don't even wanna say pretending, but, like, just, like, masking myself, and, like,
Yeah.
dimming my side. That's the only way that I can
Mhm.
describe it, is that I never felt like I could authentically be myself. And I'm in a very, like, very stable relationship, very stable marriage. Like,
Mhm.
my partner is very, like, very accepting. I don't even wanna say accepting, because that makes it sound like he just, like, puts up with it, but he wants to be a part of the things that, like, I enjoy, and,
Right.
like, it really ends up enjoying a lot of the same things that, like, I enjoy. So, I didn't have to put on that mask anymore of,
Mhm.
like, pretending that I liked certain movies to get along with somebody, or that I
Right.
liked certain things, or trying to do. my makeup in a way that other people were doing it because they were cool, in my opinion, and I wanted to be just like them. Um, and I think for so long, as a like, as a girl who grew up like fat, like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
sugarcoat it or anything, but like growing up as a fat girl, like you didn't really have a lot of like people saying like, wow, you're really cool, or like, wow, you're so pretty, because it ended up just being like, hey, I heard that there's this new workout place coming open soon, or
Right.
like, let's go check out this thing. Let's go get, Subway. You could get a sub and it's only like 3 Weight Watchers points. Like,
Yeah.
everything was so diet centric that that was who your identity, at least for me, it was my identity for so long that like I don't really give a fuck about diet, like dieting or any of that.
Same.
Like, I really just don't. Like, I I like to move my body in the way that makes me feel comfortable, but I am so nerdy. Like, this is a completely like really weird way to like describe this. So I'm so sorry to our listeners that like you're
That's
trying to
okay.
hold on to this conversation, but I spent so much time in my 20s like pretending to be a completely different person, that in my 30s I've spent a ton of time trying to figure out who I am and who I want to be.
Mhm.
And my children are probably the biggest reason why like I've spent so much time like weeding out the things that like aren't important. I like what you had said. Like, your children don't care if you're like, for me, well, like, not, well,
Mhm.
whatever. Generally speaking, your kids don't care if like your belly
Yeah.
hangs down lower than what you think that it should look like, or that your boobs are
Yeah.
kind of saggy or lumpy or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, they don't care if you have hair on your face or hair on your legs, or
Mhm.
if you're wearing a full face of makeup, or if your hair is like 5 days dirty. Like, they just don't care. My
Right.
my girls care if I'm paying attention, or if I'm present,
Mm.
or my youngest is at an age right now where she wants us to match. So she's like, "Mom, can
Mm.
we have a matching outfit?" Like, and my
Yeah.
older one is more at this place of like, let me she just generally doesn't need me in that way, but it's
Mhm.
more like, what can I do to just spend time with you? What can I do
Mhm.
just to like be around you? She's like, I don't care if we just go get ice cream or bubble tea.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that it's really important. I mean, at least, Jesus Christ, everything's falling. My cat's like laying on my desk, which is pulling it forward. So I'm like, please stop. Um, but being in my 30s, I think has brought like this sense of freedom.
Mhm.
Like, I don't care if I have a pimple on my face. I
Yeah.
don't care if I have a gray hair or if my bangs look greasy.
Mm.
Um, and I mean, I don't know. There's just so many things that like I look at now that were so important when we were 20, that was like,
Yeah.
I can't let someone see. Oh, that was the big thing. I can't let someone see me without a bra. I can't, you can't, or
You
you
can't.
can't go
Yeah.
out of the house without like some makeup on.
Mhm. I used to not I mean, I used to dread people seeing my face at all.
Mhm. Mhm. Don't, yeah, you can't see me without makeup on. And now I'm like, I put makeup on for you because I find it still to be really fun.
Yeah. For
But on a
me.
daily basis, yeah. I mean, I do it for me because
Mhm.
I think that it's like a fun thing to do, like for myself,
Mhm.
but to do it every single day, no. I care more about, like, my skincare
Yeah.
overall, like, making sure that my face is washed and that, like, I tone and moisturize and do all of that stuff, um, and I think, like, now in my 30s, my skin is, like, so much better than it was in my 30s. I'm
Isn't
like,
that crazy?
"Ooh."
Mhm.
But what were some things that, like, you look at now and you're like, "Why did I do that?"
Well, I mean, if we're talking about, like, confidence, so I used to, like, compare myself a lot to other people. I think it's natural to compare yourself to others of like, "Okay, let me measure my success based on, like, where everyone else is." Because I wanted to
Mhm,
gauge, like, "Okay, am I not hitting a goal or a marker? Should I look at what somebody else is doing or existing or doing whatever, and, like, try to modify myself to, like."
mhm,
And, like, it's good to have goals, but it was more so, like, I don't wanna miss out, and less about, like, what I wanted,
mhm.
and a lot of my 20s were spent doing what everyone else wanted me to do, because I thought that that's what you did. That's what I
That's
thought
what
that
I
that
yeah,
was just the default,
yeah.
and so, I mean, if we talk about different fads, I mean, I think I was on every single different weight loss fad. I mean, I went to the point of having, like, I was doing keto and I was getting really great results, but, I had to go on some medication because I was literally tearing my insides, that I
Oh,
was getting
no.
ulcers from how much fat, like, my body was processing. So I
Oh
was getting
god.
ulcers because I was having bad bathroom stuff and, like,
Mhm,
and they were
mhm.
telling me that, I was gonna have to, like, if I kept up this lifestyle um, that I could damage the lining of my intestines, and, like, it's just,
Oh
like, things
god.
like this of, like, months and months of testing, and I think the thing that also really plagued my mind was the opinion of others was more important than the opinion of myself, and I also think, like, part of the Christian church is rooted
Mhm,
in, like, denying of self. So I thought I was being a good daughter, a good Christian, a good whatever, because I was just constantly denying myself of what I wanted. And I actually looked at this post before we came on, and it was like hot take purity culture, which was a huge thing when we were in our teens and our 20s. Purity culture teaches people how to objectify women's bodies. And I lived my life um with a mask of thinking
mhm,
like, okay, because I live in a fat body, I have to be ultra femme and ultra
mhm.
sexualized for someone to have value in myself. But don't be too sexy because then you're deemed slutty, and then no one will want to marry you or date you or whatever. And I just think it's so like backwards thinking that like I don't know, all of my worth and myself was based on the way that I looked, when the thing that makes me stand out is my personality and who I am and where I'm going, and I have to live with myself, right? I have to be the one
Mhm.
to to live with myself and my choices at the end of the day. Have I always made the best choices? No. But when I was making choices for other people, I wasn't happy.
Yeah. And
Um
that's what I think I've also spent a significant amount of time, and I even struggle with it now, is that, like,
mhm,
I just it's it's not that I don't want everyone to like me, but I do want everyone to like me, if that makes
yeah.
sense. Like, it's this, like, really weird place to be where, like, I want to be myself, but
Mhm.
I don't want to, like, turn someone off in that, like, if that I don't it's such a
Right.
contradictive statement because I generally wanna be that person like, "Oh my god, Natalie, like, so cool. What
Yeah.
a cool
There's
chick." Like, so th
mhm.
but at the same time, I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So and that's okay,
Mhm.
but it's this weird, like, battle that I've had for a really long time where I'm like, I did the same thing that you did where I spent so much time, like, doing all of these things that, like, I thought was what you were supposed to do
Right.
to make and retain friends, um, and then I was like, "But did I actually, like was I being honest with myself?" Because
Right.
in a way, like, the way that you love wrestling is
Mhm.
the way that I love, like, anime
Mhm.
and generally, like, geeky stuff. Goofy, silly, like but again, like, who said that it
Yeah.
was geeky stuff in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
I love a good video game. I love a good animated film. I love a good manga. I love a good anime. Like that is what I love. But I didn't talk about it and I didn't like vocalize it or broadcast it out to the world because I didn't want to I don't like I didn't want to be like, ooh, the weird girl, like
Mhm.
ooh, so strange. Like I remember very distinctively I had met some like I had met some moms from my daughter's like preschool and we were just having a conversation and I had mentioned one of Brinley's like favorite movies at the time and they were like they had no idea what I was talking about. I was talking about like
Oh
Studio Ghibli's like Totoro.
oh my god, they didn't know Totoro?
I was like
What?
"Yeah, her favorite movie right now is, like, Totoro," and they had no idea, so, like, I have a Totoro tattoo, and I was like, "Oh, but, like, this is the tattoo," and then it was just like, "Oh, okay," and it was just, like, kind of this
Okay.
weird thing where I was just like, "Oh, did d was my flag
Was I
flying a
too
little
much?
bit,
That's
like yeah,
yeah.
was I too much? And I think that
Mhm.
that's the thing that I spent so much of my 20s worried about, that I was going to be too much because I was already,
Mhm.
like, the fat girl, like, I was already the big one, like, I don't wanna be too much, I don't wanna be too loud or
Mm.
too unique or too different, and now that I'm like, my life is too short, like, our life is too short to not be yourself. Like, be
Yeah.
loud, be who you wanna be.
I also think that that's a thing that should be echoed more often is life is far too short to care about what other people think or what other people experience about us. And honestly, like I've also had to come to the terms with the fact that because it's really difficult for me because when someone doesn't like me, it really bothers me because
It hurts my
I
feelings
know
really
that
bad.
it hurts my feelings that they feel that way. It makes me feel like, God, what did I miss? What did I do? I'm always going
Mhm.
to be like the toxic person in someone's story. Like there's no way to avoid that. And if you're not, then it means that you probably haven't like, I don't know, stood up for something. Like
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
been
no
too much of
kidding.
a neutral ass bitch. And like I it it really bothered me for so long, and it was like a huge weight on my own self-worth of, "Oh my god, somebody hates me. Let me try to overcompensate."
Overcompensate.
Yeah.
Let me do something to make you like me
Mhm.
again, and that's been at for the last, like at least the last year or so, is that I have I've tried to be the person, like that I feel like other people would want me to be, and I'm like,
Same.
I don't really wanna be that person. I just wanna be I wanna be myself. Like,
Mhm.
I I used to have and, like, it's in our, like, clip art photo, but, like, I used to have very vibrant colored hair, and I had I had it purple and blue and did all of these things. And then
Mhm.
I felt like, and like, to be fair, I am one of those people, like, if I don't see it, then I don't think about it. So like I would forget that my sounds so ridiculous, but I would forget that my hair was like vibrantly colored because it was just
Yeah.
such a thing. And even when Brinley was little, like the moment that I dyed my hair like this color red and it was more like normal, she was like, "Who are you?" Like, that's not my mom's hair. But I stopped dyeing my hair for a few reasons, but the biggest one was I felt like people looked at me in a different way when my hair was dyed a different color, and I got super self-conscious about it because I was like, "Oh no, I don't want to be like too loud. I don't want to be too loud or too weird." And
Mhm.
realizing that like the weirdness that I am, that like if I look at what like normal is,
Yeah.
I don't want to be that like beige, plain. I find it to be, and no hate, like truly no hate
Right.
on other people's like lifestyles, but I love a bright color. I love a stuffed animal. I love beautiful, like created goofy artwork. I love a collage of pictures.
Mhm.
Like I love funky trinkets and different stuff. So like I don't want to
Which I
have
love
to
about
like
you, by the way.
dim. Thank you. And I love it about you as well. So I that's why we get along so well.
It's
But I mean, I don't want to
it
dim
is
myself
also
anymore.
it's also a thing of we in our culture and society, it tells us to be quiet, it tells us to be small, it tells us to be, you know, a specific way because who would want to be with you, right? It's always
Mhm,
the
mhm.
you'll never get married if you're loud, and I shut a lot of that down in myself in my
Yeah.
20s because I thought that that's what I was supposed to do, stay out of
Yeah.
trouble, all the things. And then I hit my 30s and I'm like because we turned 32 during the pandemic, so like and I was 31 for a lot of 2020. Um but it's a thing of I feel like a different person after but like
Mhm.
before from 2020 and 2019
Yeah.
to now, and that's totally fine because
Yeah.
we've lived most of our 30s in a post-pandemic world, right?
Mhm.
And I've had to live with a different body. I am heavier than I used to be, but it's also because my husband always reminds me before he and I met each other, I was on these fad diets and I wasn't eating anything and I was willingly
Mhm.
skipping meals and starving myself for what? To not be fat, to not live in a larger body so that I could take up less space. And honestly, could I eat healthier? Sure. Could I work out more? Sure. But my goals in life don't align with that thing. And I unfortunately at this time, I have no interest in in being for the male gaze, right? None of this essence is for men. I'm so decentered of men. And that's one thing that my husband loves about me is how outspoken I am, how loud I am, how authentic I
Mhm.
am, how
Mhm.
how loud I laugh, how I don't care what other people say about me. And those are the things that for a long time I felt the most insecure about because people
Oh,
made me
yeah.
feel like that wasn't important or that was less than. So I don't know. I think being in our 30s and really taking account of what is important in our life has
Mhm.
helped tremendously with my confidence. And people have always told me, "Oh my god, you're so confident in your body. How are you so confident?" Blah blah blah. I don't know. I also think like being on the spectrum, I I don't know what social norms are anymore. Like, I don't know if I'm doing any of this correctly. I wasted so much time worrying about what other people thought about me, and I'm just gonna like do whatever the fuck I want.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be really honest. I don't think that anybody really knows what social norms are anymore because the things
Yeah.
that like that were considered social norms, like
Mhm.
when at least from the time that like I started working, which was what 2005 up
Yeah.
into 2018 or 2019 when I like left a traditional style like in office job, since I've been, fully remote for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
um I I don't even, I mean, like, I lose I've lost like that stamina that you have, like putting on like that social mask to like just kind of like your, what is it, your customer service face, which I
Customer
feel
service face
bad.
and voice
Your
and all of
customer,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
all of that. Like I don't have it anymore. And so I've taken a lot of time in realizing that like protecting my peace is really important. And if that
Mhm.
includes a very small circle of people or a more broad circle of people, like it I'm not including people in my life anymore that don't like bring value. And so like the friends that I do have, we all pretty much are like in this understanding of like we all are connected, but like we don't, like, not every single event like we need to do all of these crazy things or we have these all of these things, but we know like at the important times that, like, we're spending birthdays together or doing special things. Like a couple of my
Mhm.
girlfriends and I got together and we made like tamales, or like my mom friends, like we got together and the kids did gingerbread house decorating. Like there's just these small pockets of like social experience that like bring value and joy into our life, but we're not like making these like huge elaborate like get-togethers and like doing all this stuff. Because I find that like while I love to host and I love to have people over,
Mhm.
I am not like that crazy meme video where they're like, people are coming over, we have to dust the baseboards, like scrubbing all these
Although
crazy
sometimes
things,
I'm kind of
like,
like that.
yeah. And I'm kind of like that. Or I end up like, I feel like I'm overly apologizing, like, ew, ignore my bedroom because there's like laundry in the hamper. There's
Yeah.
like laundry in the hallway, and then I realized that like we're normal people doing normal things and we are living in our house, and that's like a normal
Mhm.
situation. And that everybody else lives in their home too. And so everybody just kind of is figuring out, that's the biggest takeaway. I feel like this is the most like random tangent conversation, but I think every single millennial adult is basically in the same mindset of we're
Yeah.
all just kind of living it one day at a time and figuring it out like as we go. Because if there's one thing that I've learned is that one, millennial adulthood is like constant crisis. You're just in constant crisis mode all the time where you're like, okay, are we going to war today? Like, is the
Yeah.
world ending? Like Y2K? Oh, we're having
Yeah.
a pandemic now. Oh, the flu is on the rise, bird flu,
Mhm.
COVID. Like, there's just like we're going to war here, we're supporting this person, our president is a crazy old man, like the world is ending, all the celebrities are included in those scary files. Like there's nothing that we can do, and we just have to kind of like hold it all together. And so all of the things that like we spent so much time in our 20s like scared about, like, oh my god, I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave the house without any my fucking cat, man. Um, and I'm like, everything's gonna topple over. But I mean, like, I can't leave the house without a bra on because someone might see my nipple, or like, oh my gosh, my makeup's not done, or my hair's not done. Like, oh my God, so stressed. Like, all of those things I think about, and I'm like, Natalie, like, how fucking ridiculous were you at that time? Like,
Yeah.
nobody, when you were talking about like going to the pool, and it's like when someone's at a water park or a pool, like it's not like they're like, oh, you didn't shave that one strip on the back of your leg that like somehow always gets missed,
But like,
or
even if you did, so what? So
so
what?
what? So what?
They're a stranger. And that's what
They're
I
a
have to
stranger.
remind myself, is that like they're strangers. They don't know me. And I'm putting so much weight in what they think about me, which is crazy. That's
And it takes away
crazy.
so much joy from an enjoyable experience that, like, truly, I don't know. Okay, so like this is a complete random side note. When I was
Mhm.
younger, I would make up, and maybe it's just like my excuse me, madam, I'm
Very
trying to tell a
concerned kitty over
story.
here.
Um, but I used to make up these stories in my head, and maybe that's like some crazy thing, or maybe it's just like a spicy brain thing. But I would make up these stories of like I would go to the fair and I would meet the love of my life, like, and so you had to like put all your makeup on, or like do all this
Mhm.
stuff, or you're gonna go out to, and maybe it's because you saw shows where like these things happened, where it's like you went
Yeah.
out to go dancing with your girlfriends, and all of a sudden you meet a celebrity, and then that celebrity falls in love with you, and then so you have to like look perfect. And that was like my brain of like, okay, I have to do all this stuff. When in reality, like, I don't need to do any of that stupid shit. Like, I met my husband at a bowling alley, for fuck's sake. Like, it's not as if I needed to like
That's
I think at the
hilarious.
time I was even wearing the stupid uniform that they said that I had to wear, because it was like, oh, you have to wear a referee shirt. And I was like, the fuck referee shirt? Nobody wears, it's stupid. Anyways, I digress. Um,
Can I just say though,
yeah.
I so I I think I was only on online dating for like maybe a year, but it was so casual.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad for people who are on dating apps,
Oh,
especially when they're
I couldn't
not
even imagine.
centering men, because men, I feel, have this sense of entitlement that like every woman should bow to them, and like they ask for tits or, ass or whatever, and like we should be
No.
like falling over ourselves like, oh my god, this person wants to see me naked. I could literally post my butt on the internet and say, meet me here at this time, and you know how many people would show up? I posted a throwback of when I was doing OF,
Mm-hmm.
that it was like one of those Valentines.
I saw, yeah, I saw that. It was
Uh,
cute. You looked so
can
good.
I just tell you, I never looked hotter. Like of all
You
the
looked
shoots that I've
fantastic.
ever done, like,
Yeah.
and that was done on a phone
Mm-hmm.
tripod,
Mm-hmm.
um with a ring light, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this room.
Mm-hmm.
And like a little bit of photo editing, whatever, like just to like
Mm-hmm.
perk it up. But I had like 7, and this is not me bragging. Like I could, give two shits
No.
about it. But it's like I had 7 people in my DM that they were like, respectfully, damn. It's a good
Yes.
thing you're not single. Damn. Like I get it. Giggity giggity. Like you're falling over yourself. Had I known in my brain that like all men need to see is like you naked, like whether the lights are on or off, they just want to get their dick wet, you know? The magic is finding someone that like falls in love with you, but it's the
Mhm.
fact that like some of these men on these websites just think like that's end game is getting your
Yeah.
dick wet, and that's
Mhm.
it. And for myself, I've been that. Okay, I'll get my dick wet. Like I'll just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
go, you know, go hang out with whoever I want, and it'll turn out
You go
however
have
I want.
ramen. That's what they say. That's what do they say in Korea? It's like, let's go have ramen.
Yeah, let's go have ramen. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
I mean,
let's do
like,
it.
you're just
But
gonna go have ramen. Go get your own
you
ramen.
can have your pick your litter. But it's the fact that if I look at you and I like who you are as a person, that's all
Mhm.
that matters.
Mhm.
So I feel bad for a lot of single people who are still on dating apps because that is the mentality of just that end goal. And it is not the further that a lot of
Mhm.
people want. And I'm
I
really I'm really blessed to have found my further, you know?
I don't even know. We joke about this all the time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that, like, if I were to, one, at the beginning of like trying to figure out online dating, I would be like,
Mhm.
what the fuck is this? And two, I just don't even I feel like it's such an impersonable way of like meeting people. I remember that, like, when what was it, the late 2000s was when like Plenty of Fish started, and people were like
Yeah.
hooking up from like Craigslist, um
Yeah.
and all of that. Like, the idea of it really creeps me out. I think of, like, in my youth we watched way too much like Law and Order, CSI, Criminal Minds, like that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I don't really want to meet somebody off of line. So like, I'd probably really suck at that. um so good luck to listeners or people that do, because I just don't, I mean, like, it would just be such a weird thing that I could not do. So like, I'm also very happy that I did not have to. But I also really just enjoy meeting people in real life. So like, real life situations, and I guess I've just always worked like jobs that put me into places where like I met real people. um
Yeah.
so I mean, like, again, I'm not trying to brag, because you can meet people and there are successful people that meet online, but like, for me, the idea of having to online date is so like, ooh,
Mhm. I
ew,
get it.
no,
But
David.
I mean, I add that as a caveat because a lot of confidence for me in my
Oh,
20s was founded on what do men want? What do men
oh,
want? Because then it'll
absolutely,
be
yeah.
valuable to me. And now it's
Oh,
what do
totally.
now it's what do I want?
What do I want? Well, I
What
mean,
do
like,
I want?
going back to like working in customer service jobs, like, I was a bartender for a while. I was a
Mhm.
waitress, like, working in restaurants, and then like working in tip based jobs, I guess, is
Mm.
what I'm
Mhm.
meaning here is when you're working in tip based jobs, clearly you're working, if you're trying to make the most money, you're working for the male gaze. And so you spend a lot of time like um asking yourself, like, what makes me more valuable or more attractive, or like all those things. So you're doing
Right.
all of these things, like putting on big fake eyelashes so your eyes look super fluttery, not because not only because I enjoy a good fluttery lash, but it also gives that like hyper feminine allure to your eyelash, doing a really
Mhm.
like swoopy wing because it gives like such a retro feel, or a red lip. or a glossy lip because it looks so
Oh, yeah.
juicy and like wet.
Mhm.
Just certain placements of like where you put your blush because then it looks like rosy, like you have these rosy cheeks, like
Mhm.
styling your hair. There was a what was it? There was an article, and I'll have to fact check myself on this, but um there was a thing that went out that waitresses and night dancers were doing specific hairstyles because they were getting more tips based on specific hairstyles. So if they had their hair like in a bun or like a pony, they would get
Mhm.
less tips versus if they had their hair in like pigtails or pigtail braids.
Oh. Well,
Um
that's all rooted in PDF
Gross.
files, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like there's so many things that we have ingrained in us because of those types of situations where we're like, "Oh my gosh, my confidence is based on the value in which other people see me in a very
Mhm.
similar like way of like my worth is tied to my productivity. Like my
Yep.
value is based on how confident I am in my looks or, how someone else thinks about me. So trying to break those is rough.
Yeah. But yeah, confidence also in my 30s I did not realize how often I was going to accidentally piss myself.
Oh, yeah.
That has nothing to do with
Yeah.
confidence, more in the overconfidence
No.
in my own bladder. But
Mhm.
I don't know, it's just the essence of living with yourself and living
Yeah.
in the body that you
Got to do
have
those
and as
pelvic floor exercises then.
I just have the thing where I mean, you literally witnessed it where I'm
Uh,
I get so focused on like the next step that
mhm.
I ignore what my body is telling me. This is also
That's
like an
a
autistic
autism.
thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
That's autism.
So like when I suddenly like, okay, I'm finally here. I'm finally sitting down. Now my body is starting to like relax. Then my body is like, hey, hey, guess what? That pain you were feeling, you got to piss. But right now you're gonna you're gonna Sims completely bladder failure.
That is mine. That's mine anytime I'm like, do, 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 just like I get hyper focused into a task. And then I go to like, you go, like rinse your hands or
Mm-hmm.
you hear some water and you're like,
Oh.
oh, if I don't pee now, then I'm going to pee my pants. So bye guys, gotta go. I
Mm-hmm.
feel that. I feel that completely. Or you sneeze the wrong way or you
Yeah.
cough the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nobody really warns you for the amount of times that you feel as though you're going to pee your pants in your 30s. I
It's
think
true though.
what actress was it that just did a commercial about that? Uh Kate, oh, she was in Knocked Up. Uh
Oh, Katherine Heigl.
Katherine Heigl, she did like a Poise commercial where she
Mhm.
was like listing off like all these like nicknames for peeing your pants. And it was like, here's your panty liner commercial because as you get older, your bladder gets weaker. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the age that I've come to. You know, the other thing, confidence wise, that I have given up giving a fuck about. And you kind of briefly talked about this, but because we had spent so much of our youth like being in that constant like diet culture diet cycle,
Mhm.
as of my 30s, I stopped giving a fuck.
Mm.
Like, not that I'm unhealthy in my body because my body itself is healthy. But I stopped living in that culture of like, gotta go have keto, gotta be gluten free, gotta cut out carbs,
Mhm.
have to eat salad, have to like, I have all of those things. but I don't want to like kill myself in a gym. I don't want to have to like wake up at 5 a.m. so I can go to the gym, wake up at, go to the gym at 9 p.m. Like I don't, or drink a protein shake because that's the way that you should start your day. Like I don't, that's so exhausting and that's so boring. Like to me, it is
It
just
is so
not it.
boring.
So
It's
boring.
so boring.
I love to move my body and I love to exercise but I want to do it in the way that like feels good for me, not feels good for what other people want. Like
Exactly.
it's just not for me. So like I like to be in my body. My doctor is like I have a regular doctor. I see her every couple of months. I am fine. Healthy as can be. Like I'm fine.
Yeah.
Everything's good. So like our bodies are good. So like why put ourselves in this like crazy spiral of and like at least for me, I don't want my girls to see that. Like
Yeah.
they don't need that like constant cycle of well, I can only have one candy because I don't want it to ruin my appetite. Or if I eat all of this now, I'm not going to be hungry for dinner. Like life's too short to be so stressed about all that shit. Anywho.
Absolutely. Well, we have talked and talked, and I think a lot of people could share this experience. If you have a similar experience, please send us a DM over at
Let us
Peak
know.
Millennials Pod at on Instagram, or email us. That works too. peakmillennialspod@gmail.com. We're always wanting to hear from you. So
yeah, we would love to know like what was something that was super important or like you felt like was a big thing when you were younger that now you're a little bit older that like just isn't, and you look at it back and you're like, this was pretty silly. The thing that stressed you out that just isn't anymore.
Numbers on scales, numbers on pants, not like no, over it.
No,
Well,
over it.
Do we want to get into some Ask a Millennial over here?
Yes, please. We do.
All right. I have 2 stories in here. I can take the first one if you want to take the second one. So
sure.
You got it, dude. They are on the same sort of. Excuse me. Oh my
wavelength.
Goodness. Sorry, brain.
You're good.
But they're both on confidence. But the first one is: am I the asshole for feeling uncomfortable being my mother's sole confidant as an adult? Okay. So I'm a 24-year-old woman and I'm an only child. My parents divorced when I was very young, and my mother and I are pretty estranged from our family. A host of toxic intergenerational issues. So it's always been us against the world. In a lot of ways, this was very nurturing for me. I'll always be grateful for everything my mom had sacrificed. I can barely imagine what being a poor single mother of an outspoken, rebellious, irresponsible teenage girl must have been like. I'm absolutely certain that I wouldn't be where I am today without the depth of her love and care. Under no circumstances do I want to minimize this. Ever since I was a child, I've been my mom's sole confidant. She would get into fights with family. They would do something toxic, emotionally abusive, and we'd sit up for hours talking about it. My earliest memory of doing this is around 7 to 12 years old. She also struggles with the more serious mental health issues to which I've been privy since around age 16. I remember being shocked at the time, but now that kind of thing has just become commonplace, despite her saying that she doesn't want to burden me. I moved out and abroad at the age of 18, and I've been here ever since. I'll admit to being an asshole from ages 18 to 22. No job, didn't take my studies seriously, made excuses for myself, etc. So we just chat about difficulties in our lives, and I try to listen and offer what care and insight I could, despite not being able to provide anything to help her financially. During that time, things got really bad for her. Her housing and employment situation suddenly changed, and overall things were really bad mental health wise. Now that I'm 24, my situation has changed, but hers hasn't. I try to convince her to get involved with a professional or consider taking antidepressants, and we'll agree on that, and then nothing happens or nothing comes about it. I have a job now, and I offer to try and help her financial burdens, but she's not interested and says she feels guilty taking from me. I'm very frustrated. I know firsthand how difficult chronic depression can be, and I know that she isn't acting from a place of malicious intent. Sometimes our mental illnesses make us act in ways that hurt others without meaning to. That being said, I'm terrified to set up boundaries because I don't want her to feel abandoned or betrayed, which are understandably huge triggers for her because of her past. I don't want her to go through this alone because I know I am her only friend and confidant. We touched base last week about our mutual struggles with depression, and she mentioned wanting to be confidants who support each other. I'm uncomfortable with agreeing completely because of our history, but I feel guilty because she has done her best to support me and hold me up through the many difficult times of our life. So, am I an asshole for wanting some distance from this? I wish I couldn't relate to this. I really wanted to talk about this because I heavily relate to this as not a 24-year-old, but a 37-year-old, that my mom has always wanted to be my best friend. And I can't because for my own mental health, like that's the, like, it's, what is that airplane thing? If you have to put your mask on first before you help others, like you have to be in a good place for yourself first before you can help others. And I don't know. I get that it is like a responsibility to make sure that your parents are physically okay, right? Like that's kind of like our, burden in life, I guess. But if you don't want to, don't do it.
Yeah.
No one's
I
forcing
mean,
you to do it.
I can understand, I can understand the perspective of feeling like it's the only, like, it's them against the world,
Mhm.
essentially. It's them against the world. But the mom in this specific scenario wants nothing to do with, like, trying to better herself. Like, she doesn't want to try and see a doctor. She doesn't want to try and, like, kind of balance out what is going on here. And it feels very, like, I don't know, it feels kind of gross to me, and I don't really like it, and I don't have experience in it, so I don't want to, like, say something to come off wrong, but I can see from their perspective of, like, feeling guilty from their mom, like, raising them and caring for them, and now the mom has, like, nobody in her life to, like, help. It almost makes me think, like, all of the stuff that she had talked about in the beginning about how the family was toxic and all of this stuff, like, maybe, and this sounds mean, and I'm trying not to sound mean, but, like, maybe the calls coming from inside the house, like,
Yeah.
if you think about it, like, the mom is now, like, on her own, like, doing all of these things, like, solo while, the extended family is doing whatever. And
Mhm.
maybe I'm over speculating, but it feels very much like everything and everyone is out to get me, and you're the only person that's, like, there for me, and that puts a lot of pressure on literally a kid. Like,
Mhm.
she started this behavior when her daughter was 7 years old. I There's a lot of conversations that I have with my 5 and 16-year-old that, like, I would never, like, I just could never. Even
Mhm.
now, like, would not have those type, I mean, not like there's this whole host of conversations, but, like, there's just conversations that you shouldn't have with a child
Yeah.
because they're children. Um, yeah. I don't think that she's an asshole for trying to set a boundary because her peace also deserves to
And I
be
think that
preserved.
I think it is a form of self-worth to put
Mhm.
boundaries.
Mhm.
And that's also a thing that I didn't mention earlier is that finally learning what the word boundaries meant at age 27, 28.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of boundaries before. And I'm still learning what
There was
boundaries
no
are.
such thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So having those boundaries and really curating your life to be what you want when you want it to set yourself up for your own success. And
Mhm.
I don't know, I feel for her because like depression really is rooted, right? Especially when like whatever trauma, generational trauma has gone on with the mom, it just sounds like she needs a medical professional. And
Mhm.
she sounds like she's like, "Yeah, let's do it," but isn't like a person of action. Like she needs someone forcing her to do it. It's almost sounding like she has decision paralysis. Like maybe she never really got to make decisions on her own. Maybe they were
Mhm.
thrust upon her. And so now being set with the opportunity to make her own choices, she's stuck. She's frozen. So
Mhm.
I don't think she's the
So
asshole.
I don't think that she is either. Um
It's just hard to have those conversations, you know?
yeah, I would feel that it's hard to have those conversations because you don't want to create a barrier to say like, "Oh god, we can't like that she can't be open and honest with,
Mhm.
with her daughter or with her mom." But at the same time, like I think the daughter's really hesitant, or it feels like she's very hesitant because the mom is, excuse me, going through her depression. And so
Yeah.
she doesn't, and especially if she says that she lives abroad, like
Mhm.
if she were to have that conversation, how does she know that it wouldn't turn like, forbid, like goodness
Mhm.
forbid something go like drastic, but what if something were to happen and then she's like, well, I'm super far away, like
Right.
I
I
can't
think she
help
would feel
you.
guilty too.
Yeah, there would be so
But,
much guilt there. But
uh,
all right, do you want me to read this one?
yeah.
All right, let's see. Would I be the asshole for telling my friend to have more confidence? I don't know. I don't know truly how to word this situation properly, but I feel like I need to be a friend and give him a wake up call. Let's, so my friend, let's call him Charles. We're both really nerdy and not truly that big of talkers. With him, he never truly talks or makes any loud noises. Basically, imagine that one weird, awkward guy who sits in the back of the class, curled up like a shrimp in sweats. And that's a pretty fitting description of him. Now for the problem. With that description, you can guess that Charles is a pretty timid guy. He always talks with a tremble and a mumble, stuttering every phrase and sentence.
Mhm.
In all my years of knowing him, I've never heard him yell or sound like he was 100% confident in something. Any conversation you have with him, whether it be something such as his favorite game or topics, Zelda and Impact. I feel like I'd have a lot to talk about with old Charles. To asking him about last week's assignments, he just starts apologizing and acting like he's pissed you off in the worst way possible. I can understand anxiety and not wanting to upset the people around you, but he takes it to an entirely different level. He says he says a single quip or comeback to a joke or insult, and he immediately apologizes. He's never had any strong opinions or voice to defend that little statement that he does make. I want to go to him and yell, grow a spine, have an opinion, and protect it. It's not wrong wanting to make sure that everyone's happy, but there's a difference between that and just whining and being a literal doormat. I feel like he needs to hear it from someone that he needs to grow a pair and stop being so timid and
Hmm.
I'm aware that you might not I'm aware this might not be the best way to phrase it, but this is getting out of hand and I don't know how he's going to handle life by folding so easily by any disagreement uh folding so easily to any disagreement of any type.
Hmm. So I feel like I've been there before because we retrospectively can see the holes in what is causing our friends pain, right?
Mhm.
However, there doesn't feel to be that much compassion here.
Mhm.
And I think that that's the difference. Because if you're coming from it as like a you're weighing me down, like just get like start changing yourself because this is where your life is fucking up. It's like, okay, you want to yell at him, but it seems like it's always going to feel like I just want to help. However, you're choosing the most abrasive, like accosting, like unsafe, like unprotected, like way, like to go about a message, and you're just like, I'm just doing it for your benefit. No, you're not.
No. It feels like the OP is saying this not from a place of like, "Oh, I wish that my friend would have a backbone and like stand up for something." It seems as though like he's doing it because tired of he's tired of this behavior. He's
Yeah.
tired of it. It's not that he's interested in why is Charles so timid? Why does
Right.
he feel like he needs to apologize after everything that he says? Is it because Charles comes from a home where the things that he likes are devalued so immensely that he feels like if he has an opinion about Zelda or Genshin Impact that like people are going to think that he's weird and that he can't speak about the things that he likes or there's so many things and I do feel like I understand the OP's statement of like, I just want to yell at this person and tell them to get a spine because we've all been in a situation where like we've wanted to just like look at somebody that's frustrating us, that's not hearing us, or like whatever the case may be, and be like, God, listen. But that doesn't solve anything. That doesn't fix the problem or fix the issue that he
Right.
feels like there is. Um, Clearly there's something else that's going on in Charles's life that like causes him to feel like he can't be himself.
And that's really disappointing because
Mhm.
I married someone like that. I
Mhm.
married someone who has constantly been told you have to grow a spine, you have to be louder, you have to put yourself more out there. But there's a gentleness in the quiet
Yeah.
that I think is so fascinating because it's not like me. And I've
Mhm.
learned pieces and he's learned pieces. And I'm not saying like this is the same scenario, but like maybe shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the
Maybe
fuck up
yeah.
and listen to people because maybe
Yeah.
I don't know, they might impress you, they might change you. Um I don't know. I guys, I don't know what to say. Curate your interests online. If you want to see more people that look like you, act like you, are like you, have interests like you, curate your social media to just be that.
Mhm.
If you want to stay where you are, stay where you are. But don't let anyone fucking tell you what to fucking do.
Yeah. Like I think that if you want to have the people in your life that bring value,
Mhm.
do it. If you want to keep living the life that you have and do it. Do what makes you happy. Like, do it. Do it,
Mhm.
do it, do it. Um don't dim yourself to be what you think someone else wants you to be. Be what you want to be. Look at yourself. I think what I've done for a while, and like this will be like the last thing that I say because I could probably keep talking forever, is that like when I look at myself in the mirror, I say, who would 12-year-old, 14,
Right.
16, 18, 21, like go through all the years of your life and be like, who would that version of Natalie wanted this version of Natalie to be? Like, be that person that you always wanted yourself to be. And it doesn't matter if somebody likes you, they don't like you, if you talk too much, if you talk enough, like you're doing what's best for you. And like, fuck them all. Like, fuck the rest. Like, truly, no offense. Fuck the rest. Like,
and romanticize your own fucking life. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Fuck the rest.
Fuck the rest.
Natalie, where can we find you on the sweet internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Natalie Christina. I am on TikTok. I'm not really posting a ton. Frankly, because I find it exhausting. But Instagram is where I usually am. What about you?
You can find me anywhere there's social media _queer auntie. My streaming schedule this week, before I post it. So we have this podcast coming out on Monday. Thursday, we have Collins on the Rocks with Nikki XS. So you won't want to miss that interview. Saturday, we got a round of Coffee with Collins, which is just some streaming, just some hanging out. And then Sundays, we are back doing Coast to Coast on Fightful Overbooked with myself and JPJ. We are going coast to coast. So you won't want to miss all the fun stuff. The second to last episode of Traders is on this week. I am going to die. I just can't wait for the finale. So I love my reality television. I love the things that are going on. And remember, follow us over at Peak Millennials Pod over on Instagram. Email us your stories. I don't know, guys. Next week.
Yes.
There will be no episode.
No episode next week.
Because Natalie is basically going to her WrestleMania. But it's like Plant Mania. So
you're going
to the Home and Garden Show.
I am. I'm going to the Northwest Flower and Garden Show.
If
any of our listeners are going to be there, hit us up in the DMs and we'll try and we can meet up. I am so very, very excited. But yes, we'll be taking next week off. So because we'll be at the Northwest Flower and Garden Show.
Sounds good. All right, love your faces. Be kind to each other and
love you.
Fuck ice. Bye.
Fuck ice.